Colorado.
Happy Wednesday. It is April 10th. Hard to believe we are in the top of quarter 2 of 2024. I'm Kimberly Perot, and joining me today in the studio is the fabulous Kevin Shields. And boy, do we have a fun and interesting hour one. We're looking at Ross and I back in the kitchen. We made chili plus TEDx Youth here in Vail, so lots happening with that. And then I had a conversation with the author Victoria Aveyard about her latest novel, Fate Breaker. So all of that is happening in hour one. Let's get started.
Get up, get ready to start your day. The mountains are calling you out to play. Come on, we'll make you feel right at home. Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be a great week, and thank you very much, Kim, for that opening. A lot going on today, and I can't wait to catch that chili segment. Just love me some good chili. Looking outside, it's not too chilly outside though, getting up 32 degrees today, a high today of 46, mostly cloudy today, so some of those clouds rolling in. It looks like when I was driving in, I could see on top of Vail Mountain, look like a little snow action maybe taking place up there, but that should blow out here this afternoon as we look at those temperatures warming up. 40 degrees at noon, 44 at 4 p.m., so some really nice pleasant temperatures out there. And across the I-70 corridor, 59 degrees and partly sunny in Denver, 46 in Vail, 49 in Avon, and then 53 over in Eagle. So we're starting to keep and maintain some of those warmer temperatures out there. If you notice, that snow is starting to melt away on some of these lower elevations, but still plenty out there to enjoy as we get ready to close out that ski season for this year. Tonight's going to be a low of 24 degrees, partly cloudy, winds southwest out at 5 to 10 miles an hour, so not too much as far as out there being gusty, but this is kind of the big news right here. Look at this, springtime temperatures. Tomorrow, 51 degrees and sunny. Friday, mostly sunny, 57 degrees. Saturday, 56, continuing that 50 theme all the way into Sunday, 57 degrees. And then maybe we'll get some of that wintry mix. I don't think it's going to be too wintry though. In the 50s, we're going to see some precipitation possibly come in on Monday. And those reports with that snowpack above 100%, that is great to hear.
Yeah, it's hard to believe we are having conversations about the ski season ending, but here we are. We're almost in mid-April, which is crazy.
Yeah, what is it? Beaver Creek closes this weekend,
It does,
and then Vail on the 21st. So
Yep.
done.
It's
Put
time.
a fork in it.
Put a fork in it. Well, speaking of done, you had an opportunity to go to the big game.
Oh my
this
gosh,
past week.
yeah, I went to Purdue, big Boilermaker fan, and my voice is struggling because I was just yelling the whole time. What an experience, 75,000 people,
Wow.
third largest attendance in NCAA history, and the UConn Huskies overtook my Purdue Boilermakers. But I tell you, being there in the middle of the action, it was the first time I've been to that game, and it was absolutely amazing.
I bet, just all the energy and the
Yeah.
fans. 75,000 people, that's incredible.
It was unbelievable there in the Cardinals stadium, so State Farm Stadium there in Phoenix.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I'm sure the weather was quite nice. Not too hot yet.
Oh, no, but just beautiful. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, speaking of fun, we've got a fun first hour, and
Yes, we do.
It's great to be back on the couch with you, Kevin. We
Yeah.
always have a lot of fun when we work together as well. So we'll get started with chili when we come back after this break.
Good morning, Vail.
Hey, it's your boy, Nephew Tommy, your host for an all-new season of Black College Quiz, where the nation's best and brightest display their knowledge of Black history and culture while competing for prizes and scholarships. So get ready to see HBCU Nation take the academic field. Black College Quiz! BCU! Black College Quiz! BCU! Black College Quiz! BCU! Yeah, man.
Hi, it's Julio from TV8 Vail. Do you ever wonder why our tagline is "There's more for you on 92"? Because we're always bringing you more. More Good Morning Vail from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. all year long. More local coverage with Vail Vibes and Covered Bridge on TV8. More opportunities to participate with new roundtable panels on Mountain Perspectives and our expanded Spanish programming block. Find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92, on YouTube, or our website, tv8vail.com.
Welcome to Hiring America, the television program that helps veterans find jobs and transition back into civilian life. Hi everyone, I'm Gigi Stone Woods. I'm truly honored to host this vital program. Reach out to the opportunities you see on this program by logging on to our website, hiringamerica.net, and by following us on social networking sites such as Twitter. We'll keep that information available throughout the broadcast and on our website 24/7. Now, let's get down to business.
Good morning, Vail.
You know, our weather and temperatures may be warming up, but chili kind of stands for all seasons. So Ross and I got into the kitchen earlier and we made a delicious chili recipe. So let's take a look. We're in the kitchen, and this time we're cooking up my recipe.
Yes.
Well, a version of it. This is a kind of a combination of what I like to make, but also with a good base from lots of Googling on the internet. But Ross, we are in the kitchen today,
Yes.
and we are making turkey chili. I feel like this is like a practice run.
Okay.
You know, here we go. It's cold outside. We're making chili for the chilly temperatures. So we're making a turkey chili, which is really great. And typically you can do it in one pot, but we want to show you all of the steps by step. So we've got a skillet here as well as a main pot to cook everything in.
Cool.
Yeah. So have you made chili before?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's easy, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody has their own like secret recipe or way that they've done it for years, but this is a really easy basis for it. And we're just going to go ahead and get started. So it starts with 1 pound of ground turkey, and I like to use the 99% lean because you don't really want too many excess juices, because as it simmers, it kind of liquefies and everything melds together towards the end. So if you want to get started on browning our ground turkey,
We're going.
I've got a really fun kitchen gadget. I don't even know how to talk about this because it is a multi-use tool, but this is my favorite way to chop vegetables. You literally just put it in the middle and then you just press down on it. So we've got some pre-cut onions already. We're gonna go ahead and just put this on here and just push it down nice and easy. It gathers everything, it keeps it clean. It's just one of my favorite kitchen tools to use by far. It actually also turns into a mandolin, but we don't need to worry about that today. So we've got red peppers, we've got 1 whole onion, 1 red pepper, and then also some diced garlic. And this is the basis of our, I guess you could say, of like the vegetable flavors that usually are within chili, but sometimes I like to add a lot of extra vegetables, but we're just going to keep it simple today.
There's no wrong way to make a chili.
There really isn't.
Whatever you choose, it's going to be great.
Absolutely true. So I've got 1 whole onion here, and then I'm just going to go ahead and add this onion to my pot. So we've already heated it up with about a tablespoon of olive oil just to get things sizzling, and nothing sounds better to me than hearing a sizzle in the kitchen. But we're getting all of that going, and you want your vegetables to kind of cook down for about five-ish minutes or so before we add the turkey in. And you really have a choice of seasoning your turkey however you want to. So we've got lots of different seasonings here. We've got chili powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, red pepper flakes, a little bit of cumin if you wanted to throw that in there. And it's just kind of to taste. You know, you can follow a recipe, but I say the best meals are made with love and not measurement.
That's it. That's it.
That's so true. But this is a really great weeknight meal to throw together. You can freeze it. It freezes really well. And we are just making a mess over here in the kitchen.
What was that?
I think I knocked over the hot sauce, which is a key element, in my opinion, to the chili. So are you a spicy chili kind of guy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. I like to put the jalapenos in it at the end.
Oh, that
Get a
sounds
nice kick.
delicious. All right, so we've got all of our vegetables chopped. And Ross, next to you, we've got 3 cloves of garlic minced in this little Tupperware right here.
Lovely.
So we're just kind of mixing everything together. The flavors, if you could smell the flavors in here, it's, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's morning.
Coming together.
It is coming together. Those onions are sizzling down. We're cooking it for about 5 minutes. Same with the red peppers, but they don't have to be fully cooked down because everything is just going to continue to melt together as you let it sit on the stove for about 30 minutes minimum, 45 if you really want the good flavors. But we're just over here doing a lot of cooking. So, you know, we've got the big football game coming up with the NFL.
Right.
You know, this is a really great thing to make. You know, if you don't want to do a bunch of football appetizers, you can just throw a pot of chili together. And
Yeah.
smells great, looks great. People's bellies will be filled. It's wonderful. So what do you like to put in your chili typically?
So, yeah, I like the hot stuff, but I'm definitely kind of a peppers and onions guy.
Okay.
And then definitely I'm a big bean guy. So, like, I love chili because it's all of that put together, right?
Right. So I'm on the racetrack, is what you're telling
It's
me?
looking great, yeah, looking great. And then what I love to do is chili's so great left over, right? So you can just heat it up either later in the day or the next day and get a nice warm meal.
And it's one of those meals where you don't get sick of eating it multiple days in a row. This to me is a staple in the wintertime. I'll usually make a big pot and then throw half of it in the freezer and then eat the rest of it throughout the week.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it just smells so good. You can see that these onions are starting to really start to melt down a little bit and become a little bit more translucent.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're just softening it all up because we'll throw that ground turkey in here, and then we just continue to add things. So outside of the ground turkey, we've got all the spices. We're cooking everything down. Now, I have a secret recipe that I like to do, but typically you would start with 2 cans of 14 ounces of diced tomatoes, or you can do crushed tomatoes if you want it to be a little bit more, I guess you could say like blended or less chunky. That's a good way to do it. So we've got 2 cans of diced tomatoes, which we can go ahead and add those in here. And so while you stir that, well, if you wouldn't mind passing me the tomatoes,
Here
Ross.
is one tomato for you, and I'll get the other one going for you.
Awesome. We're going to go ahead and pop these open here, and we're just going to dump it into the pot. So easy as that. I like to use no salt added so that I can add as much or as little seasoning as I want to the mix. I think it just adds a little bit. You know, we've got sodium and everything that we eat most of the time anyways. So we've added those in there, and then I've got 1 can of dark red kidney beans. Now, we've already pre-washed and drained the can so that we can just dump it right into the pot here. So we've got the base of all of our vegetables in the mix here. So we've got 1 red pepper, 1 whole onion, some garlic, about 3 cloves of garlic tossed in there, 2 14-ounce cans of diced tomatoes, and 1 can of kidney beans. So looking good. We've got that in there, and you're working on the turkey, and the best part is we can literally just take that pan and dump it in here.
Love it.
It's so simple. Throw the pan into the sink when you're done, and we can wash everything afterwards. So it can be a 1-pan meal, but we wanted to kind of show you all the different things. So One of the things that I like to do, though, I have a secret ingredient.
All right, what is it?
I love to put apple cider vinegar in mine, and
Okay.
then to make this a little bit, to give it a little bit more of an acidic flavor.
Okay, cool.
And then to add a little bit more texture and consistency, I add a little bit of tomato sauce as well.
Oh,
So those are my two secrets.
I was wondering what we were doing with the marinara over here.
You know, we're making a little bit of pasta too.
Love it.
Is there anything, like, what do you typically put in yours as well?
Not apple cider vinegar, no.
Well, it gives it a nice, like, citrus, a nice acidic taste to it. I know that the tomato does have that, but it adds a little bit of extra, plus some Worcestershire.
Yeah.
That's a fun word to say. So I like to just kind of throw everything in there and then taste as we go. So
Good.
let's go ahead and dump the,
Ready for it?
yeah, we'll go ahead, turn off the stove, which is a big important thing to do. Then we're just gonna dump this in here, so you don't even have to drain it. You know, I love to have the extra juices added in there. There we go. Looks delicious, smells delicious. You know, we heard all of the sizzling kitchen sounds, which we love here. And then we're just gonna stir this around. And you can see we've got a bunch of different flavors we can throw in. So Worcestershire, it's always hard to say. You can measure it, you know, like a teaspoon if you want to, but I just kind of put, you know, 5 or 6 dashes in. And
5 or 6 dashes.
5 or 6.
1, 2, 3,
I won't-
4,
I
5,
won't
6, 7, 8,
count.
9, 8.
That's my favorite.
6. That was 6.
We throw that in there, and then the apple cider vinegar. So we have a little bit here, as you can see. But this one, I would say you'd be a little bit more. I do maybe a tablespoon.
Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe a tablespoon?
maybe a tablespoon. So we're going to estimate this is about a tablespoon. And it just gives it some added extra flavor. And I'll just stir it up there, and you can just smell all the flavors coming together. And it's just, to me, it's like frosting a cake. You just layer everything. It starts to like look really good, and you add it as you feel like it. And then another thing that I like to add in there is actually some chicken bouillon.
Okay.
It gives it a little bit more spice. If I can get it open here, we add a little bit of chicken bouillon. If you have the cubes, I'll add 1 or 2 cubes to my chili. But with this one, we'll probably throw about a tablespoon of the powdered version in it as well. That's where it gives a little bit of extra sodium, a little extra flavor. You just kind of mix it together. And one of the most important ingredients, chili powder.
Yes.
So you cannot forget to add that chili powder into the mix. You usually do about 2 tablespoons of that, or you just throw it in as you feel like it. And a little bit of chicken bouillon. And then the last piece that we're gonna add about a cup of the chicken broth. And then depending on what it looks like, we'll throw a little bit more of the tomato sauce in there. So that's kind of an as needed
Gotcha.
basis. So yeah, it's got a lot of different things in it, but you know, it's really however you feel like feeling it. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and pour that. I'll tell you
Oh,
when.
yeah.
You
This
ready?
looks like about a cup.
Okay, you can dump it even faster. Looks great. Okay, that's good for me. And then we'll add that tomato sauce right at the very end. And it's just gonna be great. We'll leave it here. We'll let it all simmer together, and then we'll come back and check on it later. It's gonna be delicious.
So easy.
So easy. You just throw everything in a pot. Now stay tuned. We'll be right back after this.
Good morning, Vail.
Each week on the Tech Show, you can look forward to the latest in technology and how you can use it too. We'll also chat with leading experts, and you'll find out if the latest gadget will take my money or not. Don't miss the Tech Show. Tech your local listings.
Next up, we've got a special duo from 2 of the best voices in the bluegrass and country genres.
We know you're going to love this one from Melanie Cannon and Willie Nelson. Here's Back to Earth.
Songs our love created, I still sing. And every night we make the rafters ring.
My name is Tyler Alvarez. I work here at Sweet Basil in Vail. I'm a bartender here. I originally came to Vail to snowboard. I slept on my sister and my cousin's couch for what was supposed to be a week, turned into 2 months, and then I found my own spot, and then kind of made friends and worked different places in the valley and kind of just fell in love with it more and more every single day. and ended up finding my way to Sweet Basil through some friends who had worked here and all the great things that I heard about it. And yeah, I've been here for 4 years now. It's hard to wake up in Vail and be upset when you look outside. It's just beautiful. My favorite part about working at Sweet Basil is definitely that I could be proud about everything that we're putting out, whether it's food, drinks. We also get to be really creative here. The bartenders, the whole team here, we workshop our menus every season, so we'll start with a spirit or an ingredient, and then we get to be really creative and make a whole project of it. And then when we get the final product, it's a drink that we're all really proud of for the whole menu, and that's super fun, just being able to be creative and work with new things. And the most fun cocktails to make, though, are definitely the ones that we get to create from scratch. When people take a sip and say, oh my God, this is delicious, or they just love it. And that's probably the most fun for me, the creativity behind it and making unique cocktails. That, for me, that would be the most fun drink to make, just the one that you start from scratch and then people are excited about. I'm Tyler, I live and work in Vail. Come see me at Sweet Basil.
Good morning, Vail.
TEDx is gearing up and getting ready to be in full swing here in the Valley. Gretchen had a conversation with TEDx Youth with the founder and a musician about their upcoming series. Let's take a look.
Welcome back to the show. I am so excited. I am here with the two cats I found out, both the beautiful cats this morning, and for TEDx Youth. And I'm going to let you guys kind of introduce yourself and what you do.
Sure. Gretchen, I'm so excited to be here at TVA.
Well, first of all, Kat, because it is April Fool's Day, we have to tell our viewers what happened to you as you were walking in. It's kind of the opposite of April Fool's.
I'm not sure what you're...
You found the money in your pocket.
Oh, well, okay.
She found $100 in her pocket.
Here it is.
How cool is that?
Proof.
We were like,
it does not cost you $100 to attend TEDx Vail Youth.
I love that. No, that was amazing. She's like, wow, it's going to be a good day. I love that. So, Kat, what do you do?
So I am the organizer for TEDx Vail Youth. I've been doing this for 15 years.
So awesome.
One of the originals. So lots of experience guiding students from our local schools in Eagle County School District, how to organize the event, create social spaces, attract partners, organize it, and then all of our speakers, most of our speakers are students. We have 5 local students.
So cool.
We have students from Puerto Rico, Canada, Sweden, India, and
wow.
Yeah.
So, Kat, how did you get involved with this?
So I was helping to organize the 12th World Wilderness Congress in Mérida, Mexico, bringing 150 students to that global conference on conservation.
That's amazing.
And a friend of mine said, hey, we should organize it like TED. And I'm like, what is TED?
Yeah. Who is TED?
Right, who is
TED?
Yeah, which is technology, entertainment, and design.
I love that you said that because I don't think a lot of people know that.
Right.
So thank you. That's brilliant. Okay, and then you, Kat.
Speaking of failure,
right
here.
Yes. Okay, so Kat, give us a little information about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm a singer-songwriter, and I just relocated from Florida out here to Vail to play 2 performance residencies through the winter season.
So cool.
It has been insane.
I love the smile says it all.
It's been awesome. It has been awesome. And yeah, so I've been playing way too many shows.
Yeah.
And getting out on the mountain as much as I can.
I love it.
Working alongside Kat here, been seeing her passion at the house. I mean, the kids are over at the house learning from her like all the time, and she's so involved in the passion she has for helping the kids get into being able to host events and be comfortable in public spaces and speaking. It's incredible what she's doing.
I love that. And I love that you said that too, because we were speaking a little bit before that it is such a big deal. Public speaking is not something that comes naturally, I think, to anyone. Maybe every 2%. But
the number 1 fear on the planet, maybe next to dying, is public speaking.
That's insane. But I mean, it makes sense. That's true. So how did you two connect?
Honestly, I was trying really hard to find some people help me figure out a good place to stay while I was out here. And Kat has been, we just got connected through my search, and she helped me land a really awesome spot to stay in out here. So thank you so much.
You are so welcome. And we are so excited to have Kat playing at TEDx Vail Youth.
That's what I was going to say. That is so brilliant. So, I mean, let's be honest, a little serendipity here. Kat and Kat, two amazing, beautiful boss women, and you guys are just, it's brilliant. I love it.
Thank you.
So, as far as TEDx Youth, because I know we're so excited to hear you play, Missy. I cannot wait. What is your favorite thing about it, and like how does it all run? Because I think that's a big question I've had. This whole huge production is done, but it's a lot.
So it starts in the fall. We curate the speakers, we choose them, and this year's topics range from suicide, death, loss, vaccines, how to get through with a growth mindset.
Is the theme Think Again? Is that correct?
It is Think Again.
I dig that. I liked when I read that. It's very, it makes you think of a bunch of different things, and it sounds empowering and powerful. I like it,
The curators this year are Anna Presley and Tabby. They've chosen the theme. They are completely responsible for organizing the experience. We'll have 2 sessions, and in the middle will be an hour of social spaces, which is totally awesome. Awesome food, local things to understand as a young person. So if you're at all interested in understanding what's happening among our local youth, this is a great way to really hear what they're thinking.
I love that you said that because I am a mother to 3 dogs, not human. But I love it. Yes. I knew I liked you. But it's interesting because I have had people say, like, why would you go to an event when you don't have children? I think it's neat because what you just touched on is for everyone, getting to know the youth. And I interview a lot of different young people in this community. And then my friends' kids are going to grow up to be the young people of this community. So I think it's important for everyone, whether you're mother, father, you are a dog mommy or daddy. You know, it's just really getting to know the community. It's important for everyone. And I know we really are excited to see your video and hear you sing, but I wanted to make sure we touch base on how do we get involved? How do we, and when is,
Okay, so the event is Sunday, April 14th. From 1 to 4 at Battle Mountain High School.
Awesome.
Totally free. Sign up in advance if you are a student. If you are an adult, registration is nominal. And do sign up in advance because we expect to sell out as we have in the past.
That's so great.
Yeah, yeah. And then after that, we'll do TEDx Vail Live 2 weeks later, which is a sliver of the TED conference that will happen April 15th through the 19th in Vancouver. We will curate a sliver of that, and that will be focused on AI.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, I need to go to that too. Because I don't understand it. I really, I'm trying to wrap my head around it and get into it.
It's a lot.
That's awesome. And Kat, really quickly, before we see your video and have you play a little bit, tell us a little bit about your singing.
Yeah. Oh, man. I honestly feel like I was born singing. But coming out here, I mean, it's been nuts. I've been playing anywhere from 3 to 6 nights a week. And
where have you been playing?
Pepe's down in the valley. And over at the Park Hyatt in Beaver Creek as well.
Those are 2 big locations. I am proud of you.
It has been, I was extremely fortunate to have those types of places to play the very first time I came out here. I'm really, really, really grateful to all the people that helped me make this happen. Especially you.
And Kat, I think what we're gonna do, can you say where people can watch your video? Because we want to hear you play live. So
sure. Yeah, you can find me if you go to my website. It's catridgway.com. And it's Cat with a C. You can also just type my name into Spotify or YouTube or whatever.
Can we talk about your name? That sounds like a famous person, Cat Ridgway. It sounds like a stage name or something, right? Like, it's perfect.
Thanks.
All right, Kat, what are you going to play for us today? We're so stoked.
Yeah, well, Kat and I were sitting out in the lobby, and I was like, should I play this song or this song? And I have this unreleased one. And she was like, oh, I love that. So this one's for Kat. This has not been recorded yet, but here you go.
woke up in Memphis, and I can't wait to get back home. Now who am I kidding? The second I walk through that door, all I want is on the road. Hey, I've got some places to go now. These stories need a new town. I never met a memory I didn't want to make. Never saw a sunset that I didn't want to chase. Hey, these old stories are gonna need a new town. I guess I'll never learn how to settle down. Ooh.
Snippet for you.
Wow. Okay, can I be honest with you the whole time we were playing? All I could think about was Kat can sing. Here. And Kat, I have to tell you, my other gig is I'm a radio DJ, so maybe one of these days I'll be interviewing you and I'll be playing you in the top 40s. Wow.
Fingers crossed.
I have to say, you just have this beautiful presence, and it comes out in your music as well. It is.
Thank you so much.
You guys, you two cats are my favorite cats now.
Getting our roar on.
I love it. So I am so very excited about all the TED experiences, and real quickly again, because there is so much information, and I have so many things. Okay, so first of all, I know you got me excited.
TEDxvail.com.
There we go, TEDxvail.com, and Kat, we can see you again.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Oh, I love it.
It's early for me.
Girl, it's early for all of us.
Right? But yes, so I have a handful of shows left at Pepe's. You can find me there every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Awesome.
And then I have one more show over at the Park Hyatt in Beaver Creek this Saturday.
Awesome.
And then I'll probably be back in a couple of months.
Good.
We'll see.
I think Vail loves you. You're a local now, Kat.
Well, thank you.
Well, make sure you check out TEDx. Is it Ted Vail? TEDxvail?
TEDxvail.
TEDxvail.com for everything. And you can see Kat again, too. And keep it right here. We have more of the show to come.
Good morning, Vail.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
TV8 te brinda la mejor programación en español todos los días. Sintoniza Conexión Latina los lunes, miércoles y viernes a las 7 de la tarde con repeticiones los fines de semana. Además, te presentamos nuestro nuevo programa Sabores y Creaciones, donde hemos juntado tus recetas y manualidades favoritas en un solo lugar los martes y jueves a las 7 de la tarde. Y por último, disfruta de Daily Flash Latino, con noticias y entretenimiento en tendencia los sábados a las 7 de la tarde. Te esperamos por el canal 92 de Comcast, nuestra página de Facebook TV8 Conexión Latina, nuestro canal de YouTube TV8 Vail Good Morning Vail o nuestra página web tv8vail.com.
Coming up this season on Ready, Set, Renovate, we see one couple fall in love with a waterfront fixer-upper.
It sort of wrapped its arms around us and said, you want me, and we did.
And watch as another battles over the budget.
We're trying to look through and see where we can trim at this point.
Are you looking to trim it, Ginger?
No.
No.
Construction pros show us the right way to renovate.
Well, we had to do a roof over. We had to hand build a lot of the trusses.
As we're putting the thin set down, the self-leveler has a little clip that clips up underneath the edge of the tile.
Do you have an interesting hobby or skill you'd like to share for Vail Valley? We want to hear from you. We're looking for people to share their musical, artistic, culinary, woodworking, athletic, or technical talents on Good Morning Vail. If you'd like to share your talents with the community, email Danielle at tvavail.com. Join the community conversation. There's more for you on 92.
Daily Flash.
I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Mitch English, welcoming you to
Mitch English and Andrea Jackson have co-hosted together for over a decade. And now, only on Daily Flash, they serve up a fast, fun, fresh perspective on the day's trending news and entertainment. Daily Flash offers the latest in pop news, celebrity gossip, fashion, health, wellness, and even some unscripted, irreverent, who knows what's next fun. Daily Flash with Mitch English and Andrea Jackson. Trending news and entertainment.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. There is a nice shot of Vail Village. I mentioned earlier in the show, could see a little bit of snow flurries coming over the mountain there in Vail, and there they are. So it should be some great ski conditions up there as we start to close out this ski season that we're in right now. So some nice little snowfall coming over in Vail to add a little more element to getting out there and enjoying some of that downhill activity today. Well, getting up today, 32 degrees. 46 is going to be the high, so it's going to warm up really nice this afternoon. Light winds west, northwest 5 to 10, 5 to 15 miles per hour rather, and that's what's blowing kind of that little storm, mini storm that we're seeing coming through Vail right now. Vail by the hour shows those temperatures warming up at noon through 4 p.m., so we're going to see those warmer temperatures there. I-70 corridor, nice warm. 59 degrees in Denver, 46 in Vail, 49 in Avon, and then 53 just over in Eagle there. Tonight's going to low 24 degrees. Light winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, so not a lot out there right now. Partly cloudy evening, so you know that just weather is in transition right now. But looking at what's happening the rest of the week, 51 degrees on Thursday. Those 50s continue. 57 degrees, 56 on Saturday, and 57 on Sunday as we move towards closing out the ski season for Beaver Creek. Now, Vail's got another week after that. Then Monday, 51 degrees, looking at possibly a little bit of snowfall coming in there. So that weather is definitely heating up to be more springtime with those mid to high 50s as we transition through the week. Now, Kim had a chance to sit down with an author of a true fantasy masterpiece, Victoria Aveyard. So she wrote a great book called Fatebreaker. Let's take a look at that interview.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. Our future is in safe hands with so many amazing youth in our community. And joining us on the couch this morning, we have Nicole and Kat representing TEDx Vail and TEDx Vail Youth. Guys, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much.
How are we doing, Nicole?
We're doing great. We're getting ready for the event.
Yeah? So April 14th, TEDx Vail Youth's coming to Battle Mountain High School. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going to go on that day?
Well, there's a few of my friends and I doing talks about different topics ranging from AI. Mine personally is about suicide. There's one about shots, and it's overall a very informative and community event.
Yeah, and people can get tickets now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very inexpensive.
Yes.
$10-15 for a ticket for the April 14th event. And how many speakers are there going to be?
10 total.
10 total.
5 local teens and 5 teens from Sweden, Puerto Rico, Brazil, India.
Amazing, amazing. And so obviously there's some pretty heavy topics that we talk about in TEDx Vail Youth, and suicide being one of those. Can you give us a little bit about your talk without spoiling everything you're going to talk about, but give us a little bit kind of about what you're going to talk about.
My family was directly impacted by suicide in 2022, I think, and I kind of talk about the grieving process and how to get past losing someone to suicide and how to help someone with suicidal ideation, because mental health is something not talked about enough, and unfortunately our community is very closely impacted as well. And so I think it's good to spread awareness, but also provide like coping mechanisms as well as practices that people can put in place to make sure that like their friends and family stay safe.
Yeah, amazing, and super powerful messaging there. And for anyone kind of struggling locally, we have some amazing resources too, right? Locally for suicide, Speak Up, Reach Out being one of those. But can you talk a little bit about some of the other topics that are going to be discussed on April 14th?
I'm happy to chat
Yeah,
about
go ahead,
that.
Kat.
Chase is going to be doing a talk on vaccines of course, from our pandemic, there was a lot of debate whether or not to get vaccinated or not. We have talks that have to do with aquaculture. Even though we're here in the Rockies, climate is changing. It's affecting our ski world. So young people are very concerned about climate and have some really innovative solutions for that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And for people that aren't familiar kind of with TEDx format, it's usually short, very informative, to the point, but can one of you kind of explain what the format is?
Yeah, they are talks between 3 and 9 minutes typically, and they take you on a hero's journey in a very short amount of time, as a beginning, a middle, and an end. Their goal is to provide you with solutions so you can be the master who pulls the sword out of the stone, while they step back and become the Yoda, empowering you with their call to action.
I love that. I love that. And Nicole, have you spoken in front of a crowd before, or is this going to be the first time for you?
This is the first time, but I've been part of the TEDx Vail Youth for a while, since freshman year. I've kind of been building up my public speaking skills. I joined theater this year,
awesome.
All leading up to this event, but it will be my first time delivering a talk to an
Well, you're
audience.
doing great right now. This is a good
Thank
sign.
you.
A good sign for April 14th. Real quick, tickets, where can people get them? And I understand if you're a student, you get a special deal too.
Yep, special deal, sign up in advance. It's free for students at TEDxVail.com. If you're an adult, it's a nominal fee. And 2 weeks after that, we have TEDx Vail Live, which is going to be focused from the TED conference that will happen between April 15th and the 19th in Vancouver. We'll take one of those sessions and stream it for all of our friends here in Vail Valley at Colorado Mountain College. And you can get tickets for that at Eventbrite.
Awesome, awesome. And when is that viewing going to be?
April 28th,
April
Sunday.
28th.
So Sunday, April 14th for youth, and Sunday, April 28th for our businesses concerned about AI.
That's awesome. So a busy month for TEDx Vail. What happens year round with the organization? What happens year?
Well, it takes a lot of work to train student speakers. So we start back in November, and they work over the summer, many of them designing what their ideas will be. They apply, they submit their own ideas. It's completely youth organized, youth speakers. There's one speaker I really want to mention though. That's Casey Cooney, who is a former graduate of Battle Mountain High School. He's the California Teacher of the Year.
Oh, wow.
Amazing talk. If you're an educator in the Valley, you really want to meet Casey Cooney.
Very cool, very cool. And then I know some of my personal favorites are some of these motivational TEDx's. What are some of your favorites that you've seen over the years in TEDx?
I saw one. I'm very focused on mental health, and it's something I want to pursue as a career, so I do focus a lot on the psychology and stuff. And within developing my talk, I kind of researched a lot of TED Talks on suicide, and I came across this one that was surviving the suicide of her husband.
Oh, wow.
And it was just very impactful. And another one of my favorites, my cousin actually did TEDx Youth in Mexico.
Cool.
And she talks about passion, and I think she does it in a very neat way. And I look up to her a lot, so it's very nice to now be able to do the
Very
same.
cool, yeah. And Kat, do any stick out to you over the years from TEDx?
Yeah, my personal favorite is Elizabeth Gilbert on creativity. Every time you apply to host a TEDx event, which we've hosted hundreds of talks now through TEDx Vail, there are over 3 billion viewers of TED Talks.
Right.
We have had over 200,000 TEDx events in the world.
Yeah.
So, TED stands for Technology, Entertainment, and Design. And the design and the entertaining piece is really a place where it can be fun, it can be colorful, dance, music, art. We have an artist in residence, Amy Dose. You might have seen those cool murals along the roundabout in Eagle. Amy did those.
Awesome.
She'll be designing our set.
Amazing, amazing. I just think it's so cool that you're bringing this kind of global idea locally and kind of localizing it. And for people that are thinking of attending, I think it's so cool that it might be a topic you might know about, but you might not have thought about it the way that the presenter presents it, right?
Right.
Or it might be a totally new topic to you that you had no idea people are talking about. So April 14th and April 28th, be sure to check these out. Whether you know about it or not, it's going to open your eyes. What are you guys most excited about with the event?
I'm very excited about hearing everyone's stories because, for example, 5 of them are from Sweden and Puerto Rico and various other places. And I'm really like culture because I'm from a multicultural background and I love meeting new people and hearing them out. So I'm very excited for all of the experiences and cultures that this will bring and hearing like what they have to say, even though they're across the world or wherever, and like their perspective on certain matters.
Yeah, and bringing it kind of back to, suicide, like that's all over the world, right? So hearing a different culture's take on something is pretty powerful. What about you, Kat? What are you looking forward to?
Well, of course, I'm really invested in how well the students deliver their TEDx Vail Youth Talks. It's so inspiring to watch them go through their personal growth journey each year. And this year, the kids have really gone deep and have really touched on some very tender and vulnerable subjects. And of course, the social spaces. In between the 2 sessions, we have this delicious, fun time. Ice cream, all kinds of interesting experiences related to the students' talks.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
So definitely check out TEDx Vail Youth. Year-round, but definitely coming up this month, April 14th at Battle Mountain High School, and then April 28th at Colorado Mountain College. More information online?
TEDxVail.com.
TEDxVail.com. Check it out, and stay tuned for more Good Morning Vail.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome to Street Magic. I'm Elizabeth Stanton with some of the most terrifying stunts, extraordinary extreme escapes, and the most amazing cutting-edge magicians you'll ever see in one show. Get ready to have your mind turned inside out. The hand is definitely quicker than the eye.
It's fake!
America was built on a love for the outdoors. We are a nation of sportsmen, blessed with magnificent natural resources. With broad interests across water and field, we are united in our devotion to nature and conservation. Join us every week for the best shows celebrating the outdoor lifestyle. Outdoor America. Live free.
Take the first game every one of us played in the schoolyard. Turn up the degree of difficulty to maximum, and then let loose some of the fastest and most agile athletes in the world to go one-on-one in what you have is the most extreme pursuit contest you've ever known. It's intense, it's addictive, and there's only one rule. Don't get caught.
Oh my gosh! If you haven't seen World Chase Tag before, here's how it works.
2 teams of up to 6 athletes compete in a series of one-on-one chases. Each chase lasts up to 20 seconds and has 1 chaser and 1 evader.
Opportunity to points on the board! Oh!
Whoever wins the duel stays on as the evader, and teams get 1 point for each evasion they make.
And it looks like the opening point for this contest.
It's the best of 16 chases to win the match, with a sudden death chase-off required to break any ties. It's win or go home from now on. Don't miss it.
I'm Amy Goodman, host of Democracy Now! Our independent news hour offers diverse perspectives and unique opinions, often unheard in the mainstream media, live as the news unfolds. Tune in for Democracy Now!, the War and Peace Report, weekday mornings at 9 and evenings at 6 on TV8 Vail, Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on Channel 92.
Hi, it's Max at TVA Vail. We want to invite you all to the Wacky Winter Reading Program. It's open to all ages. All you have to do is read 10 books or 1,000 pages. For more information, go on our website, tvavail.com. And thank you to our sponsor, the Eagle Valley Library District.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. Kim had the opportunity to sit down with a New York Times best-selling author on a book called Fate Breaker. Let's take a look.
Good morning, Vail.
Now, it is an afternoon, or a morning rather, of arts and entertainment, and I'm very excited about this next guest because she is a New York Times best-selling author. I've got Victoria Aveyard joining me today. Victoria, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me today.
So I'm very excited because this is the finale of your Realm Breaker series, and the book is called Fate Breaker. Tell us all about the book and the series.
Yeah, of course. I like to say that Realm Breaker is Lord of the Rings meets Guardians of the Galaxy. So if you like something from one of those stories, you will probably find something you like in mine. It was very much written for me when I was a geeky teenager looking for a book that I felt like was an adventure that I could be a part of. And it very much asked the question, you know, what happens when the usual heroes fail? You know, who's the JV team of saving the world? So I had a ton of fun with it.
That's great. So tell us all about the characters. Now, this is the series finale, but it's really, it's been fun to kind of see the journey of the characters throughout all of the books. Can you tell us about this book in specific?
Absolutely. So our sort of band of criminals and misfits who do have to save the world are grounded around a teenage, not so chosen one named Coraine, who kind of against her will happens to be the only person who can save the world from something her uncle is doing. And writing her was really therapeutic, and I think would be very relatable to any young person, or any person really, who's figuring out who they are and what they want from the world. She's someone who is going from a place very sheltered to suddenly being thrust into the world that she wants to see, but then realizes it's a lot bigger than she expected.
So how is writing this series finale versus the others? Like, what was the process like? You know, was it bittersweet because you knew the series was coming to an end? Tell us all about it.
A little bit. I mean, I'm sad to leave the world, which is a good sign. It means that I did my job, even for me. But with writing a series, I know where it ends. I always know where I start and I know where I end. It's finding the path between the 2 points that's always interesting. But it was sort of, I knew what I was building towards in this third book, and the real challenge was making it feel like it was big enough and exciting enough, and it was going to feel as special as the other 2 books to readers. And even though I'm my harshest critic, I kind of think I pulled it off.
Well, it certainly sounds like it. Now, with the other 2 books, you know, you had such a huge following with them, and they are on the New York Times bestselling list. So that's very exciting. Now, what do you hope readers get out of the finale of this series?
So one thing that I realized as I was writing this book series, I didn't go into it thinking, oh, this is my message that I have to parlay. But as I was writing it, I realized so much of this book series is about the importance of people coming together against a common enemy or a common threat. And it's one of my frustrations that I have with the world is, you know, you have a problem, we all know it's there, but we can't put aside our differences to fix it. And so I was kind of living that out in this book of people being able to say, there is a problem, we're going to fix it.
I love that. Now, when does the book drop? When can readers get their hands on it?
Tomorrow. I'm technically have my book launch tonight, but it should be in stores everywhere tomorrow on Tuesday.
That's great. Now, do you have any other exciting works in plan, or tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as one book is finished, you are rolling right on to the next idea. Thank God I keep having them. But I'm working on a proposal for what I think is going to be my adult debut. So far, I've written mostly for teenagers. It's new territory, and I don't think it's going to be a series either. I'm excited to write a book that's kind of one and done.
That's great. So you've got a couple of series. You've got the Red Queen series. Now you've got the Realm Breaker series. And this is just really exciting stuff. But you also were a screenwriter, or sometimes dabble in that as well. Can you tell us about your writing journey?
Yeah, absolutely. So I studied screenwriting in college, and that's where I think I learned everything that I know about storytelling, about character, about plot. It's all the same. The bones of story are the same, no matter if you're writing a script or a book. And I feel like that was really valuable to me. I also learned how to talk about stories. So for something like this, that was very valuable. Because most writers, we're not here because we're good at talking to people. But yeah, it's been really helpful as well when we're trying to work on adaptations for my work. I sort of know the groundwork there, and I know where I can be useful, and I know where I step back.
That's great. So do you find yourself just walking through life, kind of creating stories and making mental notes of what you might want to write about next time? Like, what is your process?
A little bit. I definitely have those moments where I think, that's a good story idea, or that's a cool name, and I will write it down. So be careful around me.
I love that. Well, Victoria, it's so great to have you here, and congratulations on your book, on the latest and greatest, Fate Breaker of the Realm Breaker series. Is there anywhere that we can go to follow your journey, your writing journey, and really just connect with you as the author?
Yeah, I'm probably a little too active on Instagram and TikTok, but I love it because the book community there is just explosive, and there's so many of us.
All exciting stuff. So we'll follow you on TikTok and on Instagram, and very excited for you on this, the finale to the series. I hope you have a great book launch party tonight, and best of luck.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Victoria Aveyard, the author of Fate Breaker, joining us here. Check out the series, get the new book tomorrow, and thanks so much. We will be right back after this.
Good morning, Vail. Good morning, Vail.
Eyepieces of Vail has been a fixture in the Vail community for over 30 years. From designer frames and sunglasses to high-performance sports frames, prescription goggles, and in-demand accessories like helmets, goggle lenses, and foldable reading glasses, our inventory raises the optical bar. Visit one of our 7 locations today and see why generations of loyal customers return time after time for our unmatched service and inventory. Eyepieces, the art of vision.
One of the longest-running syndicated television series is back, America's Black Forum, a weekly series highlighting the latest in our lifestyles, business, entertainment, and finance. We introduce you to entrepreneurs who are making their mark in the business world and leaders who are fighting for change.
Welcome to America's Black Forum.
Tune in each week to know what's happening in our world today on America's Black Forum.
What happens to a poker player when there is life-changing money on the line?
Take catch! I'm rooting for me.
When they are faced with adversity?
Holy smoke. Jason can't even breathe right now.
Well,
look at him.
When a WPT title is within their grasp?
How sweet that is, baby!
See for yourself with a front row seat to all the action on the World Poker Tour.
When people think of world-class destinations, they're drawn to a place that provides opportunities for fine dining, shopping, superior lodging, exciting events, and unparalleled outdoor activities. Park City, Utah, and Vail, Colorado are renowned destinations for travelers and extraordinary homes for residents. Feature your exceptional products and services in these 2 luxury communities. Advertise with Park City Television and TV8 Vail. Contact us today.
For fun and adventure, join me on Elizabeth Stanton's Great Big World. Find out where I'll be going next and which celebrities I'll be bringing along with me. I'll show you amazing destinations with lots to explore, and you'll get to know my celebrity guests the way they really are, up close and personal. We'll travel the world, experience new cultures, and together, try to make a difference. I'm Elizabeth Stanton, saying the world's a big place, and I'm going to show it to you.
I'm Raisa Pascal.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. Welcome to Life, Love, Shopping. Have any personal stories you can share?
Do I? Yes, I do.
So even though you work for some good deals, too good to miss on flash deals now. Check this out.
Studies show spending time outdoors can help with depression, lowering blood pressure, and overall health and happiness.
watching K34QB, Vail, Colorado.
Welcome to the Wednesday morning edition of Good Morning Vail. It is April 10th. I'm Kimberly Perot. Joining me in the studio today is the excellent and high caliber Kevin Shields. Boy, we've got an interesting second hour for you. Very community focused because we have the Vail Valley Partnership here in studio, as well as the founder of Drinking Vessels, the glass blowing studio in Minturn. So lots happening. In addition to that, we'll be talking to the author of the children's book, Cranky Book, and then the Children's Miracle Network Hospital. So lots happening in hour 2 of Good Morning Vail, and it starts right now.
Get up, get ready to start your day. The mountains are calling you out to play. Come on, we'll make you feel right at home. Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Well, good morning and welcome back for hour 2 of Good Morning Vail. We're in the heat of things right now. Speaking of heat of things, the temperatures are starting to climb outside. 32 degrees when you get up today, a high today of 46 degrees. So a lot of people will be out there basking in the warm weather as they participate in some of the downhill activities that we have here in the valley. Looking at Vail by the hour, 40 degrees at noon, 44 at 4. So things starting to heat up a little bit. So it's feeling a little bit more like spring. Over in Denver, 59 degrees and partly sunny, 46 in Vail, 49 in Avon, and 53 in Eagle. We pointed out earlier in the show, we saw a little bit of snow moving in through the Vail Valley and then now into Avon. So a few flurries out there to kind of add a little more of that substance to the winter weather as we transition into spring. Tonight, lower temperatures down to 24 degrees, light winds southwest 5 to 10 miles an hour, so not a lot of happening out there in that weather pattern right now. But here is kind of the story. Looking at some beautiful temperatures, 51 degrees tomorrow and sunny, mostly sunny, and Friday. Don't forget that sunscreen this weekend as temperatures continue to heat up. 56 on Saturday, 57 on Sunday. And then Monday, looking at the opportunity to possibly get some precipitation in. Probably not in the form of snowfall with that 51 degrees out there. Spring is here.
Spring is here, but you know, it's a snowy morning. Just before we kicked off the 8 o'clock hour, I was looking out the window and snow is coming down.
It is?
It's a nice light little flurry there, but it looks like you can work on your goggle tan as we look at the weather throughout the rest of the week. It's a badge of honor here.
Snow wasn't a prediction, but an observation. So we saw it coming in and we're happy to have it.
It's true. It's true. Well, Kevin.
It's still snowing.
It's still snowing, but I have a question for you.
What's that?
What's the difference between an in-laws and the outlaws?
I have no idea, Kim.
The outlaws are wanted. Bad dad joke on this Wednesday morning. But you know what? We're going to talk about goggles instead because I mentioned the goggle tan that's happening through the weekend. I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
I'm really good at terrible dad jokes.
The outlaws are wanted.
The outlaws are wanted.
Nobody wants in-laws.
Oh, that's true. But you know what people do want? They want a nice pair of Oakley goggles.
They do. Vision is precision out there.
It's true.
And who are our friends?
Our wonderful friends of Eyepieces of Vail. They just celebrated their 40th anniversary last month, which is incredible. So 40 years of supporting business here in the Valley and really providing great eyesight and fashionable eyewear across the board.
You mentioned fashionable eyewear. You know, their tagline is the art of vision, and these are great goggles.
It's true.
Oakley is very synonymous with beautiful, classy eyewear.
Well, this is what you wear on the mountain, isn't it?
I wear that at a parade.
Yeah.
I wear that all the time. In my car, you'll see me driving around Oakley's.
You know, Kevin's
always got Oakley's goggles.
Big car guy. He likes seeing things and looking cool while he drives his car.
That way I can hang my head out the window and not have to worry about it.
Well, you know what's great about Oakley too is they actually have over 600 patents for all of their gear and their equipment, and they are the groundbreaking of the prism technology. So it looks like you're looking through a high def television when you
prism, not prison.
I did say prism,
Yeah, okay.
just to be on the safe
Don't
side.
want
You
to
know,
be part
really
of the gray bar society wearing Oakleys.
make sure that we're enunciating our words. But you know what? We love Eyepieces of Vail. Oakley is just one of the brands. And right now, they are starting a sale, 30% off across all of their helmets and goggles for the rest of the year.
It's time to stock up for next season.
It is, all brands. So make sure that you head over to Eyepieces of Vail, all 8 locations. So I know I plan to find some new goggles, maybe this pair of Oakleys, so we'll see. But excited about your next interview. We've got Vail Valley Partnership coming up.
Mr. Chris Romer, the man, the myth, the legend himself, in studio with us, talk about all things Vail Valley.
So let's take a quick break and then we'll start chatting it up.
Good morning, Vail.
Think Big features top kid inventors who face off against each other to see who can come up with the most innovative and creative invention. And Think Big kids acquire and showcase their skills in creativity, science, marketing, design, and don't forget, teamwork. Check your local listings and watch the world's most innovative kids. They create and invent new toys, games, websites, and new modes of transportation. Tune in to Think Big.
Stevie Lee Woods presents Nashville Roadhouse Live, where country meets rock and roll.
It's where I drank my first beer, where I found Jesus, where I wrecked my first car, I tore it all to pieces.
Join us every week for more live performances right here on Nashville Roadhouse Live.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Hi there! Are you ready to explore famous neighborhoods from New York City to Kentucky? Watch The Neighborhood with host Nicole Newman. Featuring famous people, unique history, and delicious places to eat and drink. Our viewers get an inside personal look at each neighborhood. With each episode we learn, grow, laugh, and live like a local, not just a visitor. Welcome to The Neighborhood. Check your local program schedule and tune in.
Learn the latest in science each week and how it relates to everyday life. From space exploration to plant biology to the latest in high-tech advances. Every new scientific development is explored and explained in an understandable way. Amazing stories each week. Watch Science Now.
Daily Flash Latino. Designed for the American Latino audience, Daily Flash Latino hosts Jessica Reyes and Fabian Marcano deliver their fresh perspective on the latest entertainment news, celebrity gossip, fashion, health, and more in both English and Spanish, aka Spanglish. Daily Flash Latino builds, connects, and celebrates the diverse Hispanic audience. Daily Flash Latino, trending news and entertainment with a splash of Spanglish.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. There's a lot of resources here in the Valley for small businesses, individuals, and one of those partnerships is the Vail Valley Partnership. I'm joined today on the couch with the president, CEO of the Vail Valley Partnership, Mr. Chris Romer.
It's great to be here.
It's great to always have you. There's so much going on in the Valley, so much legislation that you're working on right now. I don't know how you keep it straight. I get your emails twice a day, everything that's going on with the Vail Valley Partnership. You know, and for those of you who don't know, the Vail Valley Partnership acts as our Chamber of Commerce, but also as our legislative arm out there working on things like short-term rental and all those different things that we're very concerned about as residents and workers here in the Valley.
Yeah, and things that we really should be worried about. One of our strategic priorities is to represent business interest and community interest with government. And unfortunately, sometimes the people in Denver aren't well versed in the impacts that their legislation might have on different parts of the state. It's certainly well-intended, and it's certainly not partisan. There's bad legislation and good legislation that comes from both sides of the aisle. But we really do watch out for the interest of our community at the state capitol. So we were chatting a little bit off camera, and there's just a number of bills that are coming up as we near the end of the session that would have major negative impacts on our businesses. And when we have negative impacts on our businesses, it affects jobs, it affects tourism, it affects the ability to provide workforce housing. So all of that to say it affects our people and our community members. So we do try to keep an eye on that. I hope I don't send 2 emails a day. But
No,
we do try to keep
email twice a day.
We do try to keep people updated.
Yeah. Well, you get me all fired up on stuff, and it's like, yeah, because we do care about our community. There's a lot of issues that we're addressing, and some of those fall right into that short-term rental bill that can solve a lot of things here for us in the Valley.
Yeah. Without getting too much into the weeds, there's a few different short-term rental bills, and we need to remember that when we talk about short-term rentals, what we really think about is the townhome or duplex in our neighborhood, in our workforce neighborhood where we live, and the impacts that has. But 90% or more of our short-term rentals are in the commercial core. They're in Beaver Creek, they're in Bachelor Gulch, they're in Vail Village and Lions Head, and that fuels our entire economy. So we really need to have a balance. Our view and my view on the short-term rentals is that they are best managed at a local level. It's almost impossible for the state of Colorado to have a one-size-fits-all solution that impacts ski communities the same as the Front Range or the Western Slope or the Eastern Plains.
Right.
These are very different economic regions with very different impacts, and the one-size-fits-all is almost by definition going to break one of those regions.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. That's something that has to be managed by the local community, because how else is it going to be managed? With the eyes on it from a global standpoint, it's not going to work. So I'm with you on that. We agree on pretty much, I think, everything.
Be careful.
Yeah, I know. One of the things, though, that a lot of our viewers and even residents here in the Valley don't understand is the Eagle Air Alliance and what that is.
Yeah, the EGE Air Alliance, the Eagle Air Alliance, is a group that's been around for over 20 years. And we work with the airport, we work with our municipalities and the county, and we work to recruit airlines to fly into Eagle County Regional Airport. So we have 2 new flights this summer, one from Chicago and one from Houston. Those new flights will start in June. They will fly in on Friday night and Saturday night, and they will depart on Saturday morning and Sunday morning. So we'll have really good connectivity. And the nice thing about those 2 markets is you can access pretty much anywhere, right? You have connections through Chicago, connections through Houston, to go to the southeast, to go to the Midwest or the Northeast or the East Coast. So it really opens up and provides a lot more options for our locals, and it helps bring in more visitors during the summer months. So we're really excited about that. The EGE Air Alliance itself, to more directly answer your question, Kevin, it's a public-private partnership administered by Vail Valley Partnership, and we have local towns and county, and we have hoteliers and business owners who serve on that board to provide that guidance, and we research markets, and we go out and work closely with our other local entities such as the Eagle Valley Transportation Authority, and we go visit headquarters for airlines and go sit down with Southwest in Dallas and sit down with United in Chicago and pitch them on flying here. These flights don't just come.
Right.
It's a long effort. It's a long tail game. We're working the relationships. We're representing the airport. We're selling them on the benefits of flying to Eagle County.
Yeah, and there's a lot of demographics now that are visiting even stronger the Vail Valley. I know that South American Mexican market, and a lot of those will use that Houston direct flight because that's what they have to fly into. Being that Vail or Eagle Airport is not international yet, they have to go through customs and everything in Houston. And that's going to make it real easy on that demographic to get here.
That's right. Increasing the access from Mexico and South America is a really big deal. And we have had that in the winter for years and years. and increasing that access in the summer, and that it just makes it easier. And travel inherently is a little bit of a challenge. It's hard. People are making a commitment, a financial commitment, a time commitment, et cetera. So the easier we can make it on them to get here, the easier we can make it for them to come here and spend and support our local communities and our local economy.
Yeah, that South American market, I've speaking to them throughout the winter, and typically those are large families that are here for a long length of stay. So it's great for the hospitality industry to have them in the valley. And I know talking to them about, hey, the winter is great here, but you gotta come back for the summertime. A lot of them are very excited, so I'm sure that's gonna get a lot of action.
Yeah, the summer months, we all know the old saying, you come for the winter, you stay for the summer, and there's truth to that. And we have seen an increase in international visitation during the summer months. It's not quite like it is during the winter or quite like it is during Easter week.
Right.
But it has increased and will steadily increase as long as we continue to be welcoming and we continue to make it as easy as possible. And hopefully we will have an international terminal at the EGE.
I heard a rumor about that.
Yeah, it's in the works. Yeah. There's some hurdles and some aspects, but we have support from Customs and Border Patrol. We have support from our federal delegation, and we just received some grant funding through congressionally designated spending to help offset some of the costs. So there's still some T's to be crossed and I's to be dotted.
Right.
But there's a high likelihood we'll have an international terminal within the next couple of years.
Well, and all the benefits that come from that, obviously flights being able to come in direct from South America, but also the jobs that are going to be created.
The airport itself has a huge impact. So the physical airport and the jobs at the airport, the jobs at all of the service providers at the airport, and then the fact, as you said, not just for international guests, but we have a lot of data and research that shows the guests who fly into Eagle County Regional Airport are our most loyal guests. They come more often, they stay longer, and they spend more. And when we talk about visitation and we talk about tourism, that's really the goal. We want people, our most loyal guests, to be able to come more, spend more, stay longer, rather than having mass marketing that brings in volume. We want that we certainly need some volume, but we want the quality of guests who stay longer and spend more money. That supports us during the midweek periods. It supports us during the off-peak periods. There's a ton of benefits, and the economic impacts of that airport is tremendous.
Yeah, absolutely. As we build that summer season up, then our workers are going to be less seasonal and more full-time, which gets back to the whole we need more housing, we need all the other things. So
it does cascade, doesn't it?
But so with the transition of the seasons now, I know in the hospitality industry we get ready to transition from winter to summer and spring. What does that mean for the Vail Valley Partnership? Is there a transitional period that you go through, or is it kind of business as usual year round?
For us, it's business as usual. We're very steady. We have a lot of workforce programs that launch around this time of year, management essentials and taking the leads, and industry groups and C-suite groups and women in business groups, all designed to convene and connect people and give people the opportunity to grow their network and have professional development opportunities. So we stay pretty busy through that spring season into the summer. You know, if we have a slow time, it's really when everyone is super busy. It's around Christmas, it's around 4th of July, when our members in the business community, from hospitality to professional services, they're busy with guests or busy servicing their professional development clients, professional service clients, and so those are the only real kind of slower times for us. Otherwise, we're pretty steady Eddie.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Chris, for coming on today. A lot of great programs, a lot of great support for the community, the people that work and live here in the Valley, and for those visitors coming in from the outside to just experience what we have to offer here in the Vail Valley. I appreciate you coming on today.
It's always a pleasure to come on.
We'll be back soon with more Good Morning Vail.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome aboard. Bobby Laurie and Nikki Noya have your ticket to everything you need for an on-the-go lifestyle. Grab your boarding pass. It's time to jet set.
Hello, I'm Shervin Rezai here with Chener Garden in Avon, Colorado. My hobbies are obviously skiing. I've been skiing since I was 3 years old. In addition to that, music's always been my first passion, and you can see that alive and well at Chener Garden with our little record nook, where we have over 300 records, and we'll continue to grow that collection and play vinyl records for you while you enjoy your cuisine. Chener Garden is Avon's oldest running restaurant. We've been open since 1988 when my mother set up shop and wanted to begin offering Avon, Colorado the best quality Chinese food that we could get. And I started working in the restaurant when I was 8 years old as a dishwasher making $1 a day. And then one of the servers, pushed by my dad, told me I should ask for a raise, and then I got $5 a day, but then I had to put all $25 at the end of the week into a savings account, which actually helped me out in college. So after college, I went out to New York for law school, and I spent 15 years out in New York City practicing law and working in-house, which exposed me to a lot of restaurants all over the world, all over the country. And after getting exposure like that, I realized that we have this beautiful restaurant here that has so much potential. So in the fall of 2023, we came back, remodeled, and tried to get this back to give that special feel that I've known all my life here. We've been offering a lot of new cuisines, including German cuisine with our good family friend Gunther Schmidt, who's been serving up authentic German cuisine in the Valley for many, many decades. Why not? This is America. We can serve German food in a Chinese restaurant, and we just let it try. And after a year of it, it's been building up some success, and we're just having a lot of fun just seeing the look of bewilderment on every customer when they're like, how am I getting German food in a Chinese restaurant that's this good at this quality? Chener Garden is really all about that community, and that first starts with the local community. We always try to take care of all of us who are working hard, grinding it, so that we can also enjoy what this valley has to offer. And through that, we get a nice mix of word of mouth, tourists who come in. We're looking for something a little more authentic and that has a history with the valley. I'm a proud member of the Avon Vail Valley community, lifelong member as I was born here, and I hope you come out and see us here at Chener Garden. We're open every day, 4 to 9, any day the mountain's open. Cheers.
Good morning, Vail.
We've had so many fun conversations with authors on the show this morning, and it has encouraged a Young Writer Day. So let's look at the conversation we had with the authors of the children's book, Cranky. I could never remember it, but let's look at the Cranky book. Let's take a look.
Meet the world's crankiest book.
Go away!
This book does not want to go to story time.
I'm gonna count to 3.
He just wants to be left alone.
Do I have to spell it out for you? Walk away, keep walking, don't come back!
But when the other books show up for a story...
Wait!
Will Cranky change his mind?
I'll consider it.
The charming tale of a very cranky book who may not be so cranky after all.
You ready to meet the world's crankiest book? It's called A Very Cranky Book. Wow. Best-selling husband and wife team, Tony and Angela DiDolisi, about their playful, interactive tale, which makes this their first picture book collaboration. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning, James. So, Angie, where did this idea come from as a cranky book? Are we talking about Tony or somebody else?
What
are you talking about?
Perfect book for a Monday. Well, I think A Very Cranky Book began with me feeling slightly cranky as I was maybe trying to come up with an idea for a new story. Sitting in my office, maybe I was thinking about all the Pixar movies I've seen where toys have feelings and fish have feelings and cars have feelings and feelings have feelings. And I looked over at the bookshelf and I wondered to myself, do books have feelings? And what if they feel like they don't want to be read? So that is where the seed for Cranky was born.
So, Tony, how did you two take it a little bit further from the seed?
We kind of discussed what that means. So, it's great. I think the idea was fantastic from the get-go that she had come up with. But then we were like, all right, if our daughter's cranky, why is she cranky? Or if we are cranky as adults, why are we cranky? And we don't always know. I think, as Ange said, sometimes, in case of Cranky, he just woke up on the wrong side of the bookshelf, And so I think we kind of talked that out, and then we were like, well, what would we want our daughter to know if she was cranky, or when she was cranky? We'd want her to know that we still loved her, that it's just an emotion she's trying to work through, and that's okay. You're allowed to do that. And so I think when we had that breakthrough of, wait a second, there's support and caring on the other side of this emotion. That's the sentiment that we really felt was the final feeling we wanted the reader to feel after they put the book down. And that's always what your goal is with a story. It's like, how do you feel when you close the book, whether you're reading it on your own, or mom and dad are reading it to you, or you're reading it at school?
So, Angela, does the cranky book ever get uncranky?
I mean, spoiler alert, maybe a little bit less cranky.
Spoiler alert, okay.
I can't say he's gonna shake the feeling 100%, but his friends do help him have a little bit of shift in mindset.
Yeah.
So what do you want our readers to take away from this, reading a very cranky book?
I grew up a reluctant reader. I grew up a reader who had difficulty with reading comprehension and listening comprehension. So for me, the most important thing is I want to create books that create connections.
Yeah.
Connections to the book, connections to those who are reading or sharing the books with them, and really just to imbue a love of reading and a love of stories. And if I can do that through writing a humorous story about a cranky book, that's my hope.
Yeah.
Tony?
I feel the same way. I mean, I always think humor is amazing. I remember at a very young age, my mom reading, the Winnie the Pooh stories to us kids and laughing at the episodes of the characters, and that shared moment of laughter over a book is very powerful. And so this is the type of story that I feel contains that same magic, that idea that an adult and a child can have a shared experience that's fun over reading. Well, that's gold. That's something you try to attain in writing these stories for young readers.
I've been speaking with best-selling husband and wife team Tony and Angela DiTerlizzi about their new book, A Very Cranky Book. It really sounds like me in the morning when I haven't had my Starbucks, but that's another story. Tony and Angela, thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Vail.
It's time for the best coverage of the top stories in sports. The Sports Wrap with Jason Page starts now.
How do you make Anthony Edwards the face of your franchise if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves? We'll get into that.
And we say hello to our good friend Matt Verderam, who hangs out with us from SI.com. Their NFL insider, one of them, is hanging out with us on the program today. Did you see Caitlin Clark last night? She put up a 40-burger, hits the game-winning three as time expires. Let's turn our attention to the Denver Broncos, one of the NFL's most dysfunctional situations.
The Sports Wrap with Jason Page.
From small towns to big cities and everywhere in between, we're covering the great things that are happening right now in the USA. This is Positively America with Ernie Anastas.
Each week, we're going to focus on the great things that are happening every day in the USA. We'll feature change makers.
In every older person, there's a younger person saying, how did this happen?
Innovators.
I talk about design the way some people might talk about like the person they're in love with.
Doers and dreamers.
You can use that recognition to pay it forward.
Ordinary Americans accomplishing extraordinary things.
When you smile, you receive one back most of the time.
We're going to prove to you that optimism and hope are paving the way to an even brighter tomorrow.
We've got a lot of programs that are specifically focused on the children of our fallen heroes.
At Positively America, our mission is to feature good news.
I'm Clinton Griffiths, the host of Ag Day Television. Get the latest news about crops, livestock, rural living, and so much more from our award-winning team. Follow the food you eat from the field to the store to your table every day, because what's happening on the farm matters to you and your family. Watch Ag Day weekdays.
Good morning, Vail.
Now, the Children's Miracle Network hospitals have been helping children and their families for over 40 years with $8.5 billion and 170 hospitals all over the U.S. Joining me today is the president and CEO, Amy Daly, to talk all about it and what they do. Amy, how are you this morning?
I'm doing so great, Kimberly. Thanks for having me on.
Well, thank you for joining. So let's talk a bit about the mission of the Children's Miracle Network hospitals and what is your personal connection to it?
Oh, absolutely. So I'd be honored to share that story. So first, let me say that the mission of our organization, we help raise funds through corporate partners, and we're a national children's health nonprofit. We raise money all around the United States and Canada, and then it goes back to local children's hospitals. One of those children's hospitals happens to be the one who treated my two children. They were both born months premature and spent the early days of their life receiving pretty intense care in a neonatal intensive care unit. Their lives were saved inside of one of those CMN hospitals. And I'm happy to report to you, Kimberly, now they are 26 and 28 years old. They are quite happy and quite healthy, but they are a testament to the more than 12 million kids a year that are treated in a CMN hospital. We're one of those grateful patient families.
Wow. So you have both of your children that were treated, and that's just an incredible story. So I'm glad that they're healthy and happy now. So tell us, what have you learned since you've joined and stepped into your role as CEO in November?
Yeah, so I started on November 1st with the move to Salt Lake City. And since then, I've really been all over North America, going to visit our hospitals and our corporate partners and to learn more about the organization and the incredible, rich 41-year history. And throughout this time, as I visited hospitals, the one thing that really stands out to me is the uniqueness of the needs that exist in each of these communities. You know, Kimberly, geography is different. The demographics in the community, the socioeconomic factors are very different in all of our communities. And so one of the things that makes the way CMN hospitals work so well is the fact that all of the money that's raised goes back to each hospital so that they can then determine how to spend those funds. So it's unrestricted funds. The leadership in that organization get to decide where to allocate the money. So in Denver last year, we had $7.1 million raised for the hospital in Denver at Colorado Children's, and then in Salt Lake City, $3.5 million for Intermountain Primary. And you can bet that they, as a leadership team, they know where the greatest needs are, and they reinvest in the children's health care in that community.
Well, I love that you mentioned it's an unrestricted fund so that they can really address the needs of their local geography. So let's talk a bit about that. You know, what are the most urgent needs that we're seeing throughout these member hospitals?
So it's really interesting to see how our member hospitals spend their money. Some of them will focus in on groundbreaking things, innovative research that they're trying to do, new types of medical treatments or procedures. Others will take it and make it be more pragmatic and the things that are needed on a daily basis. So things like music therapy, art therapy, putting comfort toys in emergency departments to make those visits a little bit more manageable for the kiddos. Others will use it to be able to bring in additional educational opportunities for their clinicians to make sure that they have the skills and competencies needed to perform in their role, while others may use it in focusing outside the walls of the hospital, looking at things like food insecurity and making sure that kids know where their next meal is coming from. Maybe even looking at opportunities for how families can get better access to healthcare, particularly in the Salt Lake City market. You should be very proud there that the Intermountain, they use 37% of their funds to go back to charitable care to help families who don't have the funding necessary to provide for for their health care. And then I can tell you the last place that people are investing their money really since the pandemic is around mental health. 100% of our member hospitals, they offer some type of mental health support or resources into the community. And nearly 3/4 of our hospitals make that mental health available in a telehealth format so that our kids and teens can get access to that on their mobile devices, which is a format that they're very used to. And we're trying to use some of that approach so that we can really reduce the stigma around mental health and make sure that these kids know that it's okay to seek out support when they need it.
It just shows that you have a lot of trust and faith and that you give the freedom to the experts, the boots on the ground, on how to allocate the funds. And I love the partnership that you're doing there because there is so much involved in healthcare, not just the healthcare treatment itself. So that's wonderful work that you're doing. So let's talk about Children's Hospital Week. You know, it is coming up in Orlando. What is the significance of it and what is the purpose?
Yeah, we're actually coming to you from Orlando right now. So we are here in the midst of Children's Hospital Week. And this is really our opportunity to come together and celebrate what we achieved in 2023, which was a record-breaking $449 million that was raised. And it's also our opportunity to strategize and plan and get energized around 2024. So we've got 3 main groups of people that are spending time along with the CMN Hospital's national staff, and those groups are our corporate partners. And so these are companies that you know, love, and utilize within your community, like Marriott, Walmart, Love's, Travel Stop, Dairy Queen, Panda Express, another great one that's got a good presence in your community. And these companies, they come together and they raise funds for us, most of it under $1 at a time. So they're here celebrating what they raised in 23, but they're here connecting back to the cause, and they're strategizing what they're going to do in 24. The other group of people that we have with us is our hospitals. So we've got representatives from our hospitals all around the United States and Canada. So we've got some of the leadership, the CEOs of the hospitals, some of the foundation teams, and the people that are out there helping to pull these partnerships together. But lastly, and I think most importantly, my favorite group of guests we have with us is what we call our champions. These are patients. These are kids who are ambassadors. We've got over 30 of them and their families, so a contingent of several hundred that are here with us this week, many of them for their very first time at Disney World. And what we're doing is we're celebrating and sharing their stories. We're lifting up the challenges, the opportunities, the silver linings that they're finding inside of their diagnoses or their conditions. And what we're doing is giving them a platform to show the importance of supporting children's hospitals all across the United States and Canada.
That's incredible. It sounds like so much fun, and over $400 million in funds
amazing.
being raised. That's incredible. So congratulations. I love that you're able to connect all of these groups together and just really keep things rolling as we move throughout the rest of 2024. Yes. Well, Amy, thank you so much. Where can we go for more information?
We would love it if people would visit us at cmnhospitals.org. When you're there, you can learn about the different programs that we have, whether you're a gamer, a golfer, or a high school or college student that's interested in dance marathons, or you can go there to donate if you're interested in supporting the work we do, or you can go there just to learn more. So again, that's cmnhospitals.org, and you can go find out how you can help change kids' health to change the future.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Amy. Enjoy the rest of your time in Orlando, and best of luck to you throughout 2024.
Thank you so much.
Now stay tuned. We've got much more on the show right after this quick break.
Good morning, Vail.
It's the fastest half hour in television. Toyota's Race Week takes you inside the high-speed world of NASCAR. Go behind the scenes for a look into the high adrenaline world of motorsports and hear from your favorite drivers as they discuss the drive to a championship. If you love NASCAR, you won't want to miss Toyota's Race Week.
Eyepieces of Vail has been a fixture in the Vail community for over 30 years. From designer frames and sunglasses to high-performance sports frames, prescription goggles, and in-demand accessories like helmets, goggle lenses, and foldable reading glasses, our inventory raises the optical bar. Visit one of our 7 locations today and see why generations of loyal customers return time after time for our unmatched service and inventory. Eyepieces, the art of vision.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. The Vail Valley prides itself on the amount of art and entertainment that we provide to our locals and to those visiting the valley. I am lucky enough today to be joined by 4 inspirational individuals that really put the amazing A into art. And if you watch the show, Ben, you've been on quite a few times, Drinking Vessels, and you've got some of your vessels here that you've glass blown. But we also have a lot more that you're adding to the studio.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks for having us back on.
Yeah, my pleasure. So we've got some pottery going on. We've got some photography, all great art that the Valley thrives on. So Heather, let's go to you first. Let's talk about pottery. How did you get introduced to pottery? And kind of tell me about that passion.
So I've been an artist my whole life. My mother realized when I was a child that I needed an outlet. And so I've started working in clay when I was 4 years old and have continued throughout my life. I have sculpted in wood and bronze and clay, and I just always come back to clay. Yeah. It's so diverse in what you can do. The color spectrum is amazing. There's all sorts of different firing techniques that you can use. So it's sort of an ever-changing and evolving art form.
Nice, very nice. And so which piece on the table is yours? Do you have one on?
Actually, none of these are
mine. None of those are yours? Shame on me. All right. Then Ray.
These are all mine.
I mean, they gotta be.
I'm stealing the show. My name's Ray.
Yeah, so I started doing ceramics in college. I originally started out with graphic design and realized very quickly that I hated being behind a computer constantly. So I did every art class I possibly could and ended up sticking with the dirtiest one.
Now, I heard a story before we went on air about you just throwing pottery from your bedroom.
Yeah, so I have been out in Vail for a couple of years now, and my wheel was not with me, and I've just been feeling kind of empty, honestly.
Yeah.
I got my wheel back, and I had been throwing my stuff in my room. I have a pretty big room.
Yeah. Good.
And I found Ben through mutual friends where I was able to put my kiln in his studio. So that's how this started, was just me firing in his studio. And then recently, they have upgraded to getting their new gallery. and now their old studio, or their old office, is my new studio.
See, I can see where the wheel in the bedroom would work, but the kiln, maybe not so much.
That was never in the bedroom.
Right, okay.
But there's plenty of cat hair in everything I make.
Okay.
Just so you know.
A little love in there. Okay. Now, Heather, you were pointing out talking about, you needed an outlet as a child. I think now you look around society and you see kids glued to a device of some kind. What a great outlet that art really can transition them out of being glued to the technology and into the creative realm.
And it's so true because it is so tactile, especially with children. It's endless of what they can do, as opposed to sitting like this.
Right.
It also, in learning how to work with clay, it starts communication and asking great questions of, oh, what are air bubbles? Or, ooh, this is slimy. Or, oh, I love the way I can make a ball and a square. And then how do you put that into, as a kid, like, I want to make a fish.
Right.
So it gives them even more, if they're a visual learner, than just if they were to draw, So it's a different, and just that textile really does help children.
Yeah. Now, Ray, we talked about, creating the things that you create too, but now all of a sudden you've turned into an entrepreneur. So now you're having to learn the art of business and selling and marketing and all the things that go along with it. How has that worked out for you?
It's very nerve-wracking. I feel really shy about it. Sometimes it's nerve-wracking to put a price on something and to say this is worth this to me,
right? And
then to have somebody be like, $50 for a cup,
Yeah.
and not realizing how much time and money that I've spent putting into it, and also the years that I've spent crafting my style or my ability to do these things. But in regards to the entrepreneurship and stuff, I feel very well set up under Ben to have that mentorship that I wouldn't have had just in my bedroom posting on Instagram or something. So he's a great resource for that.
Now, Remy, you capture things with the art of photography. How'd you get started?
I've always used photography as an outlet since I was a child, and then I got into film photography. And I think it's a bit different because you don't have the chance to take multiple photos and then go through it and delete it. It's like you have to take that photo.
Right.
And having a darkroom space is very rare. There is one in the valley. It's at Battle Mountain because I grew up here. But it's not as accessible, and it was never a big thing. So it's just really nice to have that outlet because it's you printing your own photo and taking that time, and going through it to get the color composition and all of that. And they're all different and individual, which I really like. And I kind of see the world through like a camera lens almost. So it just helps me kind of explain how I'm feeling and really put it into a visual aspect.
Yeah. And I notice in all three of you, it's the emotion that goes into it. And I can see where it's hard to put a price on it.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, oh, this is worth this amount, because of everything that goes into it, that passion, the blood, the sweat, the tears. And like you said, I'm expressing my emotion.
Yeah. And how we see the world.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that's fun. I mean, Ben, I know you've created this studio and you've brought these amazing individuals together. And what a wonderful opportunity for them to tell their story, because that's, at the end of the day, it's not a glass, it's not a cup, it's not a plate, it's you.
Right.
That is in that 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had the studio for about 7 years here in Minturn, and I've actively been trying to find ways to reach the community. And with our current expansion project, we've been able to build this clay studio, we've been able to build this dark room, and we're open to creating space for other artists if they can fit into the amount of space we have, and interact with the team of people that are working at the studio. But I also feel like it opens a lot of doors. Ray has been reproducing one of our glass mug designs in clay, and soon we'll be able to offer 2 different products that are the same design but different materials. And I think that gives an opportunity for different price points, for people who prefer the texture of clay or glass. And it's really exciting to see, we've just moved these women into the studio, but it'll be really exciting to see what other collaboration we can come up with.
Yeah, I think I can just feel the energy that's going to be taking place in there. And we were talking earlier about the show, whether you're blowing glass or you're turning pottery, there's a motion, there's a circular motion. And how does that vibe within you?
Well, I've offered to each of the girls, and as we get more settled, they'll probably all try blowing glass at the studio.
Yeah.
I also am very excited to try getting on a wheel and throwing some pots.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, even at summer camp, I had experience in a dark room and printing my own photographs.
Yeah.
And I do some photography myself as well. So I'm excited to have access to these resources as much as to be able to provide, the space for these artists to create their work.
Yeah.
I think it's also really important to note that so there are people who do art by themselves and they have a very solitary existence in their art, but I think all of us are really, really excited to be around one another and thrive off of each other's energy, passion. If I'm struggling with this shape or that shape, I can bring it to Ben and say, do you like this transition? Do you like this handle shape? And I mean, he's never looking to me for do you like this glass? But maybe one day.
That's not true. That's not true.
Well, it's also just being in a creative space altogether because it just gives you a different perspective.
Yeah.
So if you're having trouble with that and you just want to come in the dark room, you can just do that for a little bit, and then it just can give you a new idea, which is really nice.
Right. It's that emergence of that individuality back into a group setting to where you get that feedback, which will be a little bit a different dynamic maybe in sharing with others while you're creating your art.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have artists come from around the country to come work at the studio. And also we have collectors who travel to come see our collection and purchase work. And it's really valuable for everybody to be able to get feedback from not only other artists and myself, but from the people who are buying these products. I don't typically like to cater my work to what people are specifically wanting. I like to make my own art. But I also have to keep in mind, if the market isn't buying what I'm making, then it might not be the right thing to make at the time.
Yeah, I can see that, but I also see the fact is, you may not know what you want until it's put out in front of you and it's got someone else's fingerprint on it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's just valuable to be able to have so much different feedback and energy going on at the studio. And I think it really contributes to the creativity of the space.
And now women.
And now
yeah. A little bit of estrogen in the studio.
The glass world has been a male-dominated industry for a long time. And I was mentioning to these girls over coffee this morning that it's really nice having different energy in the studio and, having a space that's, open and diverse. Yeah.
So if people want to come by and see this, where are you located?
So we're in the Jerry Sibley Plumbing Building in Minturn,
okay.
Down at the end of town, 1040 Main Street. And typically we're open by appointment, but sometimes we have events and programming, and we've been talking about more programming that we can offer now that there's more people that can contribute to that.
I'm really excited about that aspect of things, of getting to do more artsy things in Minturn or Vail that aren't so high end, that it can be really approachable just to go and experience art. You don't have to make $1,000 purchase to enjoy the fact that you're walking around seeing beautiful stuff, meeting cool people, and I'm really excited about that environment kind of evolving.
You get to take away a piece of Vail with you.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, and for people who want to support the arts here in the Valley, we're one of the few creative spaces that's available for people. And so people can certainly reach out through our website, drinkingvessels.com, to get in touch with us about how they can come and buy the work of these artists and of the other artists that I represent, and of my work as well. So we're just trying to create a space that's conducive for that here in the Valley.
And a community, for sure.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to have that here. Like, with how expensive it is to live here as an artist, it's really difficult to have those spaces. So this is like giving us a chance to do that, which is really nice.
Well, thank you all for being here, sharing your passion, sharing everything that you're doing there. And if you're out there in the community, get out, take home a piece of Vail with you. What a great way to do it. We'll be back soon with more Good Morning Vail.
Good morning, Vail.
In America's heartland, living close to the land, there's a love for the country and a pride in the brand. In America's
I'm Amy Goodman, host of Democracy Now! Our independent news hour offers diverse perspectives and unique opinions, often unheard in the mainstream media, live as the news unfolds. Tune in for Democracy Now!, the War and Peace Report, weekday mornings at 9 and evenings at 6 on TV8 Vail, Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on Channel 92.
What happens to a poker player when there is life-changing money on the line?
Hey, catch! I'm rooting for me.
When they are faced with adversity?
Holy smoke. Jason can't even breathe right now. Look at him.
When a WPT title is within their grasp?
How sweet that is, baby!
See for yourself with a front row seat to all the action on the World Poker Tour.
When people think of world-class destinations, they're drawn to a place that provides opportunities for fine dining, shopping, superior lodging, exciting events, and unparalleled outdoor activities. Park City, Utah, and Vail, Colorado are renowned destinations for travelers and extraordinary homes for residents. Feature your exceptional products and services in these two luxury communities. Advertise with Park City Television and TV8 Vail. Contact us today.
Good morning, Vail.
Well, what a week we've had. Look at this, 51 degrees tomorrow, 57 on Friday, continuing through 56 on Saturday, 57 on Sunday, and then maybe some precipitation in with 51 degrees on Monday.
51 degrees on Monday.
Woo!
We've got some snowy mix happening this morning.
Get out the sunscreen.
Get out the sunscreen. You can really work on that badge of honor, which is known as the goggle tan.
That's right.
We've got about another week or two left in the valley, which is great.
Yep.
But you know, we had a really fun show.
Yeah, we did.
We had,
Don't forget, we've got all these great guests. Come back and see us tomorrow for even more.
We'll see you.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Are you looking